Alright guys, well today we're going to start looking at InDesign. And as you open up InDesign, you see I have it open here, you'll see that it opens up very similar to Illustrator. And again, it looks like nothing really happened when we did it, but it did open up around the top and on our toolbars on the side, as well as our palettes panel over on the right hand side. So while it doesn't necessarily look like anything happened, it did, and it did open up. So to begin using it, what we'll have to do is come up to File and hit New. And once we hit New, we've got a couple options. InDesign is really good at doing a number of different things. You can make a document, a book, or a library, which is more like a combination of different things. In this case, so we want to make a new document. So we're going to go ahead and click on Document. As we do that, you'll see that we've got a few options. The first one says number of pages. Again, InDesign is really good at making layouts for posters or flyers or different things. So you may have a certain number of pages that you'll have in your document. In this case, just for practice, I want you to go ahead and put 3 in for the number of pages. And the page size, we're going to keep it letter. And we'll keep all the rest of these the same for now. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. When we do that, you'll see that we've got our first page up. And we have a number of different options of things that we can do with this. The first thing that I want you to take a look at, though, is if you come over to the right-hand side and click on this Pages palette panel, what you'll see then is we have a list of the different pages that are going to show up as part of our InDesign document. We can add more pages if we decide later that we need more pages by coming down here and hitting this button. This is going to add another page to it, which you'll see here is now page 4. If we hit page again and we scroll down, you'll see it's now added another page next to it like that. We can also get rid of pages that we don't need. We can even get rid of multiple pages by clicking on the first one, hitting Shift and selecting the next one as well, and hitting the trash can. That will get rid of those pages. And we can come back up and we can scroll up and see that this is our first page of our document. We also have a number of tools on the left-hand side as well that are similar to some of the other tools that we've seen in Illustrator and in Photoshop. You may see that we've got a few tools on the left-hand side that you'll also see in Illustrator. Tools like the pen tool, the pencil tool, we've got the rectangle tool. Some tools that we've used before, like the gradient. One thing that you'll want to probably do though, and because these are all three of these are Adobe products, is just use some of the other ones to actually create anything, and just use InDesign to actually put it all together and create layouts. If it will work, but it's not as good at making them here. So if you wanted to use the pen tool or the gradient tool, my suggestion would be to do it in Illustrator and then bring it into InDesign. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at a few other things then as well. First of all, the text box. We can come over and click on the T to begin to put our text in. And the other thing that's a little bit different is that when we want to put an image in, we have to come over here on the left-hand side to this button here that's called the Rectangle Frame tool. And we want to use this one to put our images in. We'll demonstrate how that works, what that looks like in just a second then as well. At this point though, if you have not taken your superhero and then added onto that your superhero logo, I want you to go ahead and pause now and go back into Photoshop and add the logo that you made in Illustrator onto your superhero. We're going to use that picture here in just a second, so we need to make sure that that is finished. So put your superhero logo onto your superhero and then save that as a new image that we're going to use. Okay, once you've got that done, what I want you to do then is click on this rectangle frame tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to just draw a box in the corner here, make a rectangle about like that. And you'll see that we've got this X through it. This shows that this is going to be where our image is going to go. And this is where I want you to put the image that you made of yourself as the superhero with your logo on it. So again, if you have not done that yet, go ahead and go back now and do that. Now, once we have this positioned here, InDesign works a little bit differently in that this is going to be this area that this is going to go, this image is going to go into, but we've got to do it a little bit different. We've got to put it in there a little bit differently. Okay, we're going to go up to File, and we're going to hit Place. Okay, or you could hit Command and D. When we hit Place, then we will have the option to choose what picture we want to go in there, and I'm just going to pick this one. And I can now, that image is going to go right into my picture, or my rectangle frame that I had placed there. Now, this may not have been the best picture to use, but I don't actually have a superhero picture that I've made, so this is the one I'm going to choose for now. If my picture didn't quite fill the frame how I wanted it to, I have a couple options. You'll see that I've got the selection tool here, similar to Illustrator. But if I click on that, you'll see what happens is that it moves the whole box. And I might not want to move the whole box. If I want to just move the picture, you're going to use this tool over here called the Direct Selection tool. When I click on that one, the Direct Selection tool, this one now actually changes my placement of the picture itself. You'll also see that I get the boxes on the corners that allow me to make it, make the size of the picture itself either bigger or smaller. Or I can change that. I can stretch it out. It makes my not look totally great, but I can fit it in there if I want and make it fit. So I do that. I change my picture with this one, the Direct Selection tool. The Selection tool is going to actually select the box itself, not the picture. It's going to select that box that I put in there. So that's a little bit of a difference. Okay. Now, once you've got your superhero picture in there, it's got your logo on it, what I want you to do then is create a new text box. So again, we're going to take our text box, we're going to just draw in a rectangle here. And what I want you to put in there, I want you to go to your paragraph that you wrote all the way back on the first week of class that was kind of the backstory for your superhero. And I want you to paste that into this space here. So what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with the picture of your superhero with their logo on it and their picture of their and the paragraph that explains the backstory of your superhero down below. Right? So I am going to just go grab some text, and I'm going to paste my text right into this box here. This is just your standard lorem ipsum text. Once I've got my text in here, what I want you to do, I want you to actually come up and go to Type, and I want you to open up this character panel, and once you do that and you've got your text selected, I want you to actually go in and change your font, and maybe use just a pretty standard font like Helvetica or any other font that you choose, but get in the habit of changing the font and picking a font that's going to fit what it is that you're trying to make with your your flyer or your poster. You can also make this bigger and find a font that you can actually read. Okay, so this character panel is going to be really helpful in doing that as well. Now, when I did that, you'll notice that when I made my font bigger, that I got this little red box down here in the corner. And what that means is that my text actually got bigger than the space that I had set aside for that. You'll see that I have this red box in the bottom right hand corner. What I need to do then is I need to come down to my next page and I need to draw a new text box in this second page. Clicking on my selection tool, if I click on that red box, you'll see that it kind of picks up the text, and if I click here, it will now continue the text there. So now if I come back and I highlight all of my text and I select all of it, now if I make it bigger, it's going to automatically just flow into the next page, and it knows that that is going to continue from this page all the way over to this page as well. Okay. Once you have your text in there, you may decide that you want to add a title onto it. Maybe you put the title of your superhero above it. So again, if you click on this top arrow, the selection tool, you can actually slide your text box down. You may have to make it a little smaller. Your text should automatically flow down to the next box then. And then what I want you to do is add a new text box here that is going to show up there. And maybe put the name of your superhero there. Right? I'm just going to put my name for now. I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to give it a new font. Maybe pick something like, I don't know, Impact. That one looks cool. And again, I'm going to make it bigger. And once I've found a pretty good size for it, what I want you to do next is come up to type, and this time choose paragraph. In here, you've got a few options, and this one specifically, we can align it to center. You could do right align, you could justify it, etc. But I want to align it to center there. Right? Once I do that, I see that I've got my text in there, it fits in there. I now have kind of like a title. I've got my text for my document, and that looks pretty good. Once you've finished it, what I want you to do is come up to export and export it as an Adobe PDF, print, hit save, and then post that onto the Padlet. That way we can see both your superhero with their logo and their backstory all on one document. Okay? All right, good luck with that.